So the first problem, we're going to write the equation in point slope and slope form, point slope intercept form from the graph. So it says to write the line in point slope form first. So remember, point slope, we need the slope, which we're going to need for both of these. So for the slope, remember, we're just going to count rise over run. So if I count my slope, I'm going to go up 3, and this is over 4. So our slope for both of these is going to be a positive 3 over 4 because it's going up left to right. Point slope form means I'm going to need a point on that line. So I'm just going to take this point here. I'm going to take this point 0, comma, negative 3. And I'm going to plug that into point slope form. So remember, point slope form is y minus y1 m times x minus x1. So y minus y1, so my points x1 and y1, minus a negative 3 becomes plus 3. The slope is 3 over 4. X minus x1 is 0. So that would be the equation in point slope form. And again, you could pick any point on that line. It doesn't have to be the y-intercept. So slope intercept form, remember though, is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So m, again, I'm going to plug in 3 over 4. And then b is my y-intercept. So the y-intercept is right where it crosses the y-axis. So that's going to be right at negative 3. So slope intercept form is y equals 3 over 4x minus 3. Similar concept for this, except for now we don't have a graph. We're just given 2 points. So since we're given the 2 points, we have to plug into point slope form. So we're going to find the slope form first using the slope formula. So I'm going to label my points x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So we're going to have 1 minus 4 over 6 minus 7. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. That's going to simplify to be a positive 3. So now I just have to pick a point. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick 7, 4, and then I'm using the slope of 3. So remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is x1 and y1, so we're going to plug in. Y minus y1 is 4, m is 3, x minus x1 is 4. Or sorry, 7. So that is point slope form. Then slope intercept form, we need to distribute and solve for y. So we're going to get y minus 4, and again, that's a 7, equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times a negative 7 is negative 21. Still not in slope intercept form. We need to add that 4 over. So we get y equals 3x minus 17, and that is going to be slope intercept form. The next problem says, is the point 2, 6 on the line? So remember, they give us the line, so I can't change any numbers they give us. So that's just going to be x and y. So I'm going to plug in on each side of the equation and just see if they are equal. So I'm going to do 6 minus 7, and then 2 times 2 plus 3. So on the left-hand side, 6 minus 7 gives me negative 1. 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. So those are not equal, so then it is not on the line. If they were equal, the point would be on the line. Next, we're going to graph each equation. One is in slope-intercept form, one is in point-slope form. So for A, that is slope-intercept form. So I get the slope, which is negative 2, and then I get the y-intercept, which is 7. So that tells me where to start on my y-axis. I'm going to go up 7, plot a point. Negative 2 tells me down 1 and right 1. And we're going to put a couple dots and then go ahead and draw your line through. The next one, B, is in point slope form. So again, I'm given the slope is 4. That's in front of our parentheses. And then I take out the opposite point. So opposite of negative 1 is positive 1. Opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. That is my starting point. So I'm going to start at 1, 4 and do the slope from there. Positive 4 is up 4 over 1. Draw the second dot and put a line through. The last problem, we're going to be given a table and we need to write the equation in point slope form and slope intercept form, and then talk about what the words mean in context of the problem, and then fill in the rest of the table. So a little bit of work here. So first things first, I want to find the slope. So the slope for this line, I'm using these 2 points because that's where I have an x and that's where I have a y. So again, if I'm kind of looking at my table, that's going to be x and y. So slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to have the point 2002, 68, and 2011, 80. So I'm going to do 80 minus 68 over 2000. I'm going to change this to 2006 over 2002. So that's going to give me 12 over 4. So my slope is 3. Then I'm going to pick a point. So I'm going to do 2002 and 68. And my slope is 3. I'm going to plug into point slope form. So y minus y1 is 68. My slope is 3. X minus 2002. Then to get it in slope intercept form, I need to distribute and solve. So I get y minus 68 equals 3 minus 6,006. And I'm going to add 68 over. So my slope intercept form is y equals 3x minus 5,938. Now it says, what does the slope mean in context of the problem? That's y over x, so my degrees per year. So it's adding 3 degrees per year. Then it wants me to fill in the table. So the first thing I'm going to do is do the 2010 because that's my x, so that's going to be the easiest one to plug in. So just where the x is, I'm going to plug in 2010 and then times that by 3 and subtract the 5,938, and that's going to give us 92. Now the other one with the 71, we're going to have to work backwards here. So I'm going to take that 71, and that's my y value. So I'm going to put that in for y. So I'm going to get 3x minus 5,938 equals 71. Then when I move that 5,938, I'm going to get 6,009 equals 3x, and then we're going to divide by 3. So we get x equals 71 degrees. And, sorry, we get x equals 2003, not 71. So then the year that it was 71 degrees is 2001.